Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
Austin.
We are playing the One Ring RPG. Specifically, we are using the Moria Through the Doors of DURIN, I guess, expansion or...
Yeah!
Yeah?
Love it. Having a great time playing this, guys.
It's cool.
Glad you could be here with me. Be having less of a good time by myself.
Thank you for that jump scare.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's get pumped, fellas. Come on.
I don't know if you did that on purpose, but there are rules for solo play in the Moria book.
They're definitely, I think it's called Strider mode. It's literally called Strider mode.
Is it called Strider mode?
It's not funny, Austin. People can play by themselves.
That's pretty awesome.
Why would you laugh at someone with no friends?
I needed this when I was in middle school.
Or perhaps all their friends have been murdered. You don't know.
Yeah, that is true, though. To Austin's point, I feel like solo RPG rules would have been super useful for a lot of people in the 90s.
Absolutely.
But now the internet exists, so you're just being a purposeful recluse.
I mean, okay, Austin, picture this, okay? There's someone who has a group of friends, and they play games every week, RPGs, including the One Ring, and then it turns out the majority of those friends are here illegally, and they get shipped on a plane to Bogota, and the one person's left alone. What's he supposed to do? He has to play by himself. Do you ever think about that?
I did not think about that particular order of events.
Somewhere there is a 42-year-old man whose friends were stripped from him by Dylan Klebold. And...
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. That was a tragedy.
What about somebody whose friend circle gets Final Destinationed?
Yeah.
I mean, watch a documentary.
Well, they only read Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Anyway, if you're just listening to Bastard Quest for the first time, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
But if you're just listening to Bastard Quest for the first time, this is kind of getting close to the end of this current arc for the One Ring, so you might want to dial back a few episodes. But moving right along, Corey, who are you playing?
Playing Easel Hen. He's an elf.
Alrighty.
He's got problems. He's working through some things via humor. He's decided, know what I need? Hobbit help.
Oh.
Always, you're at the end of your rope. If you're if you're like looking up to a hobbit.
Sure.
That's the only reason the dwarves turned to the Hobbit.
Yeah, I've got some like canon in my head about Ezel and why he's with these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
Is it part of a program with steps?
It's sad.
2,000 years of trauma is probably a lot to unpack.
Well,
that's why you put it on the shoulders of someone who's small and slight.
Crush him with it.
So it crushes them. Austin, who are you playing?
I'm Zip the dwarf.
Yep. All his trauma's right out there in the open.
I mean, he just inflicts trauma on others.
He literally has it's scored on our sheets. His trauma.
What's your shadow at, Austin?
7.
Todd, who are you playing?
Bungo Tuk. I'm the aforementioned Hobbit.
So we've got a 2,000-year-old elf, a probably at least 60, 70-year-old dwarf, maybe older.
Just wanted to let my friend Easel know that the secret to humor is up, dog.
Huh?
Who's up, dog?
Where is up, dog?
How is up, dog? The three of you stand in the Hall of the Ringsmiths, a grand chamber, heart of Khazad-dûm, that you have recently found. And this is part of a larger series of chambers that Gandalf called the Lost Citadel of the Ringsmiths. It's certainly definitely safe. So, well, I guess I should ask, do you guys remember what you're here to do?
Yes, we're here to locate either the kind of essence of the forge that made this duplicate copy of the Ring of DURIN.
Yeah.
Or see if we can get the forge out itself. If we can't recover it, then we should destroy it.
That is largely accurate. So, at the end of this grand hall, there are 7 stone thrones set on this slight dais, and there's a doorway behind them that leads off into darkness. In the far right corner of the room, there's another corridor, and on the center right, there's a corridor. So, there's 3 main passages that you can see without investigation.
So you guys might not know this, but there's 7 chairs over there. This is the chamber where the dwarves were that got the rings from old Lidless.
What would you gentlemen like to do?
So these avenues to the left and right are going to be more... This whole chamber is secret, but those will be the more publicly accessible routes to whoever can access this chamber, which makes Zip think that if there was a secret forge that was used to recreate the power of the Ring of DURIN, then it was probably in some secret catacomb guarded by the lords themselves that wore these rings.
Remember, you already did have to make your way through a secret door to get in here.
That's what I mean. Like, this is already only accessible to probably those 7 dwarf lords, but Zip has a suspicion that whoever recreated this power may have either acted alone or acted in conspiracy within that group. So Zip wants to check out the chamber behind the thrones.
So you advance through this quiet, cold chamber. You climb up on the dais, look through the doorway. You see a long hallway with many offshoots. You smell must. And there is light here from crystal lanterns. You can't see any directly, but you can see the flickering illumination. There are words in Khazad, or whatever the secret language of the dwarves is. For some reason, I want to say Khazad, but I could have just totally made that up.
I believe so, because the name of that one virtue for mine for the dwarf battle cry is called Baruch Khazad.
Well,
yeah, Baruch Khazad means I'm doing dwarf stuff.
They just yell it everywhere.
Yeah.
And it says in the dwarvish language, libraries, etched in the stone on the archway above the entrance here.
Well, fellas, maybe I might have been wrong, unless there's a forge hidden behind a bookcase somewhere, which seems unlikely. So, if that's the way to the libraries, we may be able to reference that later if we have trouble finding the forge, but that kind of makes me want to check one of the other passageways.
Yeah, if we're just peeking down halls, we can always come back to the library.
Yeah.
So what about that corridor in the far right corner there?
So this is rougher stone. It is hewn from the heart of the mountain itself and not covered like the rest of this area in stone tile work. It's still smooth and superbly fashioned. There's also a great door barring the way forward.
No rune saying, hey, here's what this is.
Just say this word.
No runes.
Okay. Do we want to peek down the last hall?
I think so.
Sure.
So it's a short corridor that you can tell leads to a larger interior space. You can see, again, more of this crystal illumination, workbenches, barrels, tools, and many corridors extending from that central room.
I see the tools and I see all of these things, and I think perhaps we are on the right track to find the forge.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm looking around trying to keep my nose keen for the smell of like hot metal and stuff like that. I know this forge has been dead for like thousands of years, but dwarf stuff.
So what are you guys going to do?
So if this looks like workstations and things like that, then it might be worth it to check this out before we try to break down this door.
All right, so the three of you move into this room. It is a semicircle, the base of which would face the direction you came, and there are, it's like spokes going off of the hub of a wheel. And this is clearly where the ringsmiths did their work. Each small corridor leads to an individual workshop. There's a specific rune above each hall, and Zip believes this would indicate a particular master's personal crafting area.
Okay. Kyle, could I make use of the ring again to see if the ring can be further drawn to the source of its power?
I mean, you can attempt to do so. What skill are you kind of leaning on here?
So I'd like to make a scan action to see if I can spot any sign of interaction between the ring and our surroundings.
Okay, sure.
Well, can I assist on this using my lore?
How do you feel that is relevant? I mean, potentially, I'm open to the idea. I just want to, what's your...
I mean, essentially, Ezel's read a ton of books.
Okay.
Getting him away from that library, that was tough. It's like, oh, let me at him. Oh, ye old tasteless joke book. I must...
And you can read a lot of books in 2,000 years.
Well, and he's old, so he still knows how to use the Dewey Decimal System.
Right, I'm basically just looking out for something that might remind Ezel of something he might have heard that might point him in the right direction.
Sure, you can assist. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Can Bungo also assist?
Yeah, Bungo can also support if you want to spend hope.
Yeah, I will, because I currently have 11 hope, so...
Jesus Christ.
Ezel has 19.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Do you really?
I'm very hopeful. Gonna hit an open mic next week, and I think I'm gonna make it after that, guys.
maybe there is a thing as too much hope.
Twaw.
So, Austin, you have 2d6 extra.
Yeah, so I'm rolling a D12 and 5D6.
Nice.
All right.
There's a like phew as Zip's eyes light up like a night vision scope.
I mean, don't worry. There's no way you can miss this up.
Target number for wits is a 15.
I, for one, challenge the gods to stop you.
Do you? Oh, there's that boy.
Hello.
First time I haven't rolled a fucking 2 on the D12 since we started this adventure, but so many other low numbers on the other dice.
Why am I erect? Oh, yes.
All right, that's a total of 30 with 1 success.
So, as you take the ring out, the ring of DURIN, or as you were told by Gandalf, a forgery of said ring.
The ring of doo-doo.
Yeah. Or perhaps an imitation might be a better word.
It's the pawn shop version.
He pulls it from his colostomy bag.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
listen. Don't let the Discord influence you.
Yeah, I'm not allowed.
Let the past be the
Not
past.
allowed to do colostomy jokes. Deadlands ruined it for all.
Oh, that's why? That's why we don't do colostomy.
It forced me to do that.
Yeah, that's what ruined it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, as you take the ring out, in one of these cold workshops, a crystal lantern flickers into life, illuminating one of the hallways. I mean, these are not like long corridors, right? So you can see down it, you can see a corpse slumped over a workbench in robes that were definitely one day great and fine, but are now faded. It is clearly the workspace of a master smith. It looks to Zip's eyes, and as well to Ezel and Bungo, that this dwarven mastersmith died in the midst of their work. In one skeletal hand is clutched a ring, nearly finished, but for 3 rubies, clearly intended to be inset into the ring, glimmering on the bench.
Oh, I think I see what's happening here. This is like one of them mini games you run across in an adventure game.
Is it now?
Everybody stand back. And Zip takes a seat at the bench. He kind of just he takes the ring out of the skeletal hand, and then he just kind of shoulders the skeleton out of the way and sits down at the bench. Kyle, I'm going to use craft, which I have a skill of 2 in and am favored, to try and complete his work and see what happens.
Well, this will require a daunting skill endeavor.
Ezel slides on a spare welder's mask he has found and ducks behind Bungo.
This is definitely within your skill set according to Zip's own internal feelings.
That's true all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a feeling it's, but not as far as Kyle's internal feelings.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle has the look on his face that he gets, like, right as the Red Wedding's about to start. But
And he's Roose Bolton.
so, Kyle, if this is a daunting action roll, what exactly is that going to mean for me?
You need 9 successes, essentially.
Jesus Christ. Okay, do we have that many die?
No, you can roll multiple times.
Okay, so how's that going to work?
You just keep rolling until you get it, and nothing bad happens.
Okay, so
Well, it's similar to in the council where you had to overcome Saruman's resistance. You had to get so many successes on so many number of skill tests.
yeah.
Yeah, so you need 9 successes to overcome the resistance of this difficulty.
Oh,
So do we even have 9? I don't even know if I have 9 dice.
I'm not sure where you're coming up with we.
Okay, well, let's start from the top then. Kyle, in the council phase, we also were able to calculate how many tries we were going to get in order to meet that resistance difficulty. Is there any kind of rule for that here, or do I just get to roll as many times as I want, and the consequences are, I'm sure, worse and worse the more I roll?
This is a daunting skill endeavor, so you need at least 9 successes because it's resistance 9, and you can have up to 9 skill tests to attempt to do that.
Whew, okay.
Bad things may happen during, before, after.
I mean, I'm sure.
Let me just turn to the section on shadow in my main book. All right, Austin, roll your craft.
Okay.
Let's trust Zip's skill.
Okay.
So he's got to get 9 successes on this one roll.
No. He can have more than one roll.
Now I get 9 chances to get 9 successes.
Maximum.
So I am favored in this, so I'm not going to immediately start off spending hope, but we'll see how the rolls go. And Kyle, just as a refresher, successes are referring to A, successful roll, and B, success icons on the D6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel that's pretty generous, but I guess so.
Generous or not, is it in the rules?
Technically.
All right. So target number for strength rolls, which craft is 14.
The husk of a corpse clatters onto the stony ground.
And like a moth to a flame, Zip the dwarf must sit down and finish this only half-finished piece of smithing.
From somewhere deep within MORIA and far away, there's a great shriek that echoes through the stone. Roll your dice.
Okay. Zip didn't even hear it. Zip's just hearing the Kenny G music while he sits down to craft something.
The fuck was that?
All right. Rolling 2d12 and 2d6. So there's a 16, so that's 1 success.
What'd you roll on the D12?
Well, on the one I'm using, I rolled a 10.
Okay, so 1 success. Oh, also, take 1 shadow scar.
Jesus
Scar?
Christ.
Yeah, that's a shadow point that doesn't go away until the next Yule.
Yeah.
All right, that brings my shadow scars up to 2.
The crystal lantern flickers and the light dims almost imperceptibly. Roll again.
Guys, I got a good feeling about this. Ooh, that's just an 11.
Ezo subtly puts his hand on Bungo's shoulder and starts leading him backwards out of this hall.
Austin, take a shadow scar.
Okay. So I'm going to spend a hope.
Good idea.
I mean, none of this is a good idea, Kyle.
I don't know. I feel optimistic.
So rolling 2d12 and 3d6 here. This is roll number 3. All right, there's a 15, so that's 1 more success.
And another shadow scar.
Uh-huh.
What is the limit on shadow scars?
Why do you assume there's a limit?
Just curious.
Yeah, you're so optimistic, Todd.
All right, 1 more point of hope. There we go. There's a 23 with an extra success.
Oh, that's good. Take a shadow scar.
Okay.
Not even halfway there.
Nope.
Corey or Todd, which of you would like to roll a die?
I'll roll a die.
Roll a d12 there, Todd.
It's a 10.
2 of you are backing away slowly from Zip as he sought to assemble this last ring, pouring all his focus and will into it, slowly attempting to set the rubies into the right spots, cursing when the old tools around him failed.
There's so much rust. It's like the cancer of dwarves.
Malicious thoughts fill your heads. This is a foolish attempt. Zip is wasting his time. It'd be better simply to slit his throat and leave him in a dark place.
Yeah, it's true.
All heroes gain 2 points of shadow.
God damn it.
However, in this case, you can make a valor roll to attempt to overcome it. It's
Okay.
not automatic.
Okay, I have a 1 in Valor, so I'm rolling a D12 and a D6.
I have a 2 in Valor, and I also get a plus 1d when resisting darkness because of Untamable Spirit.
I have 1 in Valor, so I will be rolling 1 and 1.
My target number is 16.
Mine's 18.
13.
And I rolled an 18 with 1 success, so 2 overall successes.
I got a 14.
I rolled a 13 exactly.
So if you fail, you take 2 shadow.
Fucking shit.
If you succeed, you only take 1.
It's the first time I've ever had shadow.
Minus how many successes we roll?
No, you're always going to take a minimum of 1.
Oh, okay.
Kyle, how does shadow affect our hope?
So they do bear relationship to one another. You want your hope to be higher than your shadow, always. If your shadow rises higher than your hope score, you become miserable. You are feeling the weight of Melkor's meddling and Sauron's will. It's not great.
Cool.
All right, so I'm 4 for 4 so far, which, going by the number of dice I'm rolling, is still pretty shit, but we keep going.
Well, let's see what happens.
All right, roll number 5. All right. There's an overall success and one other success.
Oh, okay, that's good. Take a shadow scar.
Cool.
What are we doing with this damn ring afterwards?
No idea. I gotta finish it though. I'm a dwarf. It's what dwarves do.
We're going to create the dumbest Captain Planet.
So you're at 6. You're almost there. Theoretically, you could do it with just one more roll.
Sure.
I mean, I doubt it.
Roll number 6. All right. There's another 2 successes.
Shadow scar.
Roll number 7. And that one's right on the money. I rolled a 14 exactly. That's one more success.
So you have completed the last ring.
I did it! God damn it, yeah. Oh, I feel like shit.
Zip is ashen. His cheeks are sunken. Had you not watched him assemble this creation in truly mere moments, you would have said he'd spent weeks laboring in the cold dark. So what you have is the last ring, intended to be a weapon against the Balrog. It imbues the wearer with protection against fire and darkness. In game terms, it makes the wearer immune to the Denizens of the Dark ability and to any endurance loss from fire. And it imbues whatever weapon the wearer wields with the bane of the enemy.
Ooh, okay.
Like all enemies?
No, I believe it means the enemy.
Balrog.
This ringsmith was trying to craft a weapon to use against the Balrog when they died.
Okay. So the Balrog appeared, immediately started mass slaughtering dwarves, and the ringsmith was like, "It's cool, I got it." And just also got slaughtered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what happened to this smith while they were working on this ring.
Probably died of old age. We watched you fucking roll, dude.
Austin, what's your current shadow?
It's at 8. That's not counting these new shadow scars I gained, because I gained a grand total of 6 new shadow scars.
Jesus.
Yeah, those count as shadow.
Oh no.
They just don't go away until the next Yule.
Oh Jesus. So I can't. So I basically have a baseline now of how much shadow that I have.
And Yule for us is every 3 years.
It turns out.
And we got to make another kid.
Well, you guys may be hearing from him shortly. I don't know. So yeah, I have a grand total then of 14 shadow up against my now 7 hope.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Well, good news for you. You're miserable.
Oh, I have become death.
Not a great day for Zip, even though he did accomplish an amazing feat of artistry.
So let's remind everybody what effect being miserable actually has. Because just for Bungo, the mere act of being weary got rid of like 3 die outcomes.
I did not like being weary.
So when you're weary, any of your D6s that show up as a 1, 2, or 3 are just ignored. When you're miserable, if you roll the Eye of Sauron on the feat die, your action fails regardless of the total roll.
It's the opposite of that boy.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it depends on the roll itself, but
Sure.
essentially you just have a 1 in 12 chance of failing no matter.
Yeah.
Yes, we could meet Dat Butthead. He bad.
So you guys have this powerful weapon.
Look at that.
Though probably only Zip understand its true importance, speaking to him as it did when he was crafting it.
Yeah, what'd you guys do all that whispering to me for?
I didn't say a thing.
Yeah, you did. You guys were all whispering in my ear all these evil shit while I was trying to put this thing together.
All right, what are you guys going to do?
Destroy this thing and get the fuck out.
Yes.
Zip?
Yeah. Sick of this shit.
Now, in terms of this location, you actually haven't found any of the repositories of ring lore that Gandalf was talking about. And you could also, Zip could reseal the secret door that hid this chamber, this lost citadel, when you departed.
So Gandalf wanted us to get the forge out if possible and destroy it if we couldn't. Is it possible to get what we need out of here?
There is not a central forge here that you might expect for, say, the manufacture of weapons and armor and that sort of thing. It was all small workshops, and each would have like a small crucible to melt the soft metals like gold and silver. But Gandalf also chiefly spoke of the lore itself, the knowledge, if it had been recorded anywhere.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm going to assume that's in the library.
It would be a good place to check for sure.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't think about that as far as just the knowledge went. So, yeah, that's a great idea. Do we want to head there next?
You didn't think about the library being where the knowledge was.
No, I didn't think about that being an objective, really. I was really after more just the essence of whatever it was that created this ring.
I'm gonna build a jewelry.
It's like me walking past a crossword that ain't been done yet. I can't help it.
Do you do that? Like you're in a coffee shop and somebody's got the newspaper held up and you just
I'm such an asshole.
You just snatch it.
They're still holding it up. I'm just jotting shit on the back.
Yes, Austin has been arrested 6 times for the most petty crime you can imagine.
It's Europa, you idiot.
So, are the 3 of you going to return to the library?
Yeah, we should check it out. We haven't been in there yet, so we just peeked down the hall.
You did. You walk into these close-fitting book stacks, begin searching about, looking at titles, and you quickly conclude that herein is preserved more ring lore and secrets of the elven smiths of Eregion than likely anywhere else in Middle-earth. The majority of the books here are written in the elven tongue. It is easy to quickly surmise that all are chained to the shelves. Now, time has definitely gnawed on these perishable parchments. Many are not in the best condition. Some have collapsed entirely into dust. But there are still a few that remain legible. One is called Annals of the Gwaith Imirdain, which means in Elvish, the Annals of the Jewelsmiths.
Mithrandia likes his annals.
Another that Easel finds contains first-hand accounts of the makings of the rings, including conversations and tales allegedly attributed to Celebrimbor and the Lord of Gifts himself.
Gifts? Like the animated pictures?
Yeah, the guy who invented gifts.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy. Or Sauron.
Oh, I see.
It's one or the other. There are also descriptions of the lesser rings and the great rings of power, but nothing, of course, about the One Ring, as that was, as we all know, made in secret at Mount Doom by Sauron himself.
Well, Mithrandia did tell me to keep my eye out for one certain book. Is the Kama Sutra Aurelian here?
Sadly, it has been checked out.
Gandalf got high and forgot he checked it out.
The name on there is Mithrandir.
He pulled the card out and it's just his many, many names.
He got it. That's why he kept coming up with different names.
Grey Pilgrim, fuck it.
So he can get more smut.
Gandalf has 20 library cards.
The Sexy Stormcrow, yes.
Gandalf, you're at your limit. No, I'm not Gandalf. I'm the Grey Pilgrim. I've never met this Gandalf fellow. He seems nice.
There's this whole curtained off area in the library. That's the only place where Gandalf went.
Oh, yeah. It's like video stores back in the day had the porn room.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
The Gandalf
Had
RM.
the swinging western doors of shame.
Gandalf's nook. It's me fuck nook.
When he goes in there, he's just Mithrandy.
All right, so there are many works here. Now, much to Todd's chagrin, perhaps, they will require load.
Okay. Do we need all these books? Basically, I'm asking if I can roll my lore to see which are the most important that we should bring back.
Sure. Obviously, the one, Annals of the Jewelsmiths, is clearly something you need to take. The various other notes are as well. Yeah, so you can identify, but it will be 6 load altogether, what you need to carry out.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. We need them all no matter what?
Well, you think those are the most important.
Okay.
It's your own judgment as to what to do with them. Well, these are I say most important. This is everything that's salvageable. Everything else is illegible and rotted away to dust.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't have to be 6 load on one person. You can divvy it out.
Okay.
I started to say, I've got a little bit of a margin for carrying additional load.
Same.
If I add 1 load, I'm going to be weary again.
One more load may kill me, gents.
That was
That's what the hobbits always say when Gandalf's in town.
His spine just cracks backwards. He folds in two.
it was just a ham sandwich.
Here, you take this copy of Jugs.
How How did Middle Earth get so smutty on
I
this
don't
podcast?
know. We got real horny all of a sudden.
What is going on?
Yeah.
So, how are you guys going to divide up this jewel lore?
So my current endurance is 26, and I've got 16 load. So I can take a little.
Gotcha.
Okay, Corey, if you want to take 3, I'll take 3.
Okay.
Bungo is very disappointed that they did not have the Twilight series.
Well.
Also checked out.
Yeah.
Sarabon.
Oh, yes. Yes, the heir to Tolkien's fucking Twilight series.
All right, you guys. Well, I think we got about everything we can gather from this chamber. Why don't we get the fuck out of here and I'll close her back up and then we can go home.
You guys don't want to investigate any further?
I don't know. Should we smash some shit before we leave, or tag it? Let them know we were here.
Tag it?
Yeah. Let them know. Let them know our crew. That they call us Dat Boys.
If you look very closely in the Fellowship of the Ring, you'll pass by this rock wall with a skull and headphones on it.
Well, this is DBB.
Easel's had a satchel full of cans of spray paint this entire time.
Well, the first time I've had Shadow, I'm ready to get randy, boys. Well, I mean, I guess the only other thing we haven't really looked at is the corridor that is doored up that doesn't have any markings on it or anything like that.
Yeah, and of course it's locked, so there's nothing of interest back there. Especially stuff that could kill us now that we're good and weak from figuring everything else out.
You are.
I'm actually okay. I've got full endurance. I'm just miserable now.
Wait, can that whole sequence mean Todd and I took a long rest while we waited for him to roll?
Good thinking, Corey.
No.
Okay.
Damn it. I think we'd be remiss to leave without checking what's behind that door.
Sounds terrible.
It is a large door of iron and stone, yet there's no lock, though it is sealed from this side. Zip is quickly able to open it.
But what? Oh, we're just opening it?
Yeah,
God damn it. I'm glad we voted on this.
that's what I do. I'm not very good at getting presents, but if you talk about maybe wanting something, I could just have it like that.
I will leave you. I've got Shadow now.
He gets 1 point of shadow, and Easel's just a totally different fucking person.
Yes.
Strangely enough, though, it makes him funnier.
How did he get a tongue piercing so fast?
He's the Louis C.K. of elves now. Oh. He's funny, but he'll whip it out at you.
So there's that burst of air that opens when a place long sealed is entered for the first time. This smells of death and the grave.
Oh, great.
A long moaning greets you.
Mithrandia? We need to get back to Gilray, and she kept us on a much straighter path. No horniness under her watch.
Jeff, Joe, check. So here you see a long vault, a storeroom that contains raw materials for the making of rings, ingots of precious metal, cut and uncut gemstones, rare oils, powders, and acids for etching, and so forth. You also see sealed caskets marked with runes of command.
No, Zip.
What? He's already poised over one with his mattock.
Get back.
But there are also a number of corpses simply laid on the ground. Perhaps whoever brought them here was too occupied by their work or too weak to do anything more. And as you enter, these tainted dwarves, these ring whites,
Oh, great.
not ring wraiths, ring whites, rise to their feet.
That's okay, you guys. I got more death rings on my fingers than Alan Moore. Let's go.
They wear the tattered ruins of Khazad-dûm. Their skin is shriveled and sunken, but their sinewy flesh is still strong as they wield mattocks and hammers, and they come at you, and we will do that combat next time because it's going to take a while.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Zippered.
Well, thank God we opened that door.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Well, in all fairness, I do think we have now found a target that will probably be worthy of destroying before we leave, where we talked about we might be able to bring the essence of how these rings were made with us, but if we wind up destroying this resource vault, we can kind of ensure that no other rings like this are ever made again.
Why would you want no more rings to be made? Clearly, making of rings has been of great benefit to me.
Yeah, but I have this power fantasy where I'm the only one. just what I've had since I got the first ring. I don't think those two things are related. It's just
Unrelated, I'm sure. No, it's coincidence is what it is. I read about coincidence.
I just saw one ring and I started thinking about it. What if I had all of them?
Yeah, that sounds like my favorite self-help book. It's called Everything Will Be Fine, Trust Me, by Sauron.
Totally.
So I think probably next week will be our final episode of this One Ring arc.
Okay.
If you
All
guys
right.
survive the Ring Whites and, of course, escaping Moria, which is, has its own problems. Also, I should point out that while you're in Moria, there is a non-zero chance that you legit run into the Balrog. It's not high, but it's not zero.
Sure.
And continuity dictates that it won't go well.
Right. Well, like we said, based on the map, we're not that far in.
No, not really.
It is a massive. If somebody wants to play a campaign of this game, they could hang out for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are... So Moria, they kind of divide the rooms into two basic areas, those that are known and recorded in lore outside Moria, and those that are completely unknown. And this is one of the ones that's completely unknown.
Cool.
Something that is not completely unknown is that Norse Foundry makes kick-ass dice. Just go to norsefoundry.com, check out what they got, place your order. They have all manner of dice made from all manner of materials. They're beautiful little works of art. And when you hit the checkout, enter promo code CHAM, that's CHAM, CHAM, for the Bastard Quest 10% discount at norsefoundry.com.
Austin used to get shit from North Foundry. Then he decided, I'm going to make my own.
He whittled them.
Yeah.
The Mithril dice are never in stock.
Yeah.
I don't understand the schedule on that. It's like they're waiting for some curse to lift or something. I don't.
Also, thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
You can forge your own urinal.
It comes at a price.
Yep, you will take Shadow.
Yes, they have that ancient and enchanted urinal workshop in the back. Crafted from the finest porcelain.
I was scarred after I left that bathroom.
But thank you, most of all, thank you for listening and following us on social media, asking us questions.
Thanks to our patrons for subscribing and following along and providing the funds needed to get cool-ass games like this.
Yep.
And many of the ones coming up.
Feel free to rate, recommend.
Yeah. Tell your dumb friends.
And don't forget, if you feel like subscribing because you haven't yet and you think, hey, this is dumb, I want more of this, go to patreon.com/bastardquest.
Thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.